Accountability is a key concept in moving an organization forward, especially in a challenging business climate. Cindy Tuckey.
Workplace objectives and goals are hard to achieve if we lack accountability. There are 5 principles we can follow to help build team dynamics in association with accountability and leadership. These principles are easy to incorporate and make a big impact on the outcome of powerful accountability skills. The 5 C's of accountability help employees to stay focused, confident, and consistent in order to grow as an employee and obtain success as a business. Accountability requires clarification, a common purpose, communication, collaboration, and consequences. Successful accountability requires clear, concise instructions. It is impossible to meet expectations if the employee does not have a strong understanding of the expectations. The employee should be given specific information on what they are supposed to be focusing on, how they should follow through with this task, and why the task is important to the business. The employee should verify that they have a full grasp of what it is they are being held accountable for. It cannot be assumed that the employee has a full understanding of their expectations simply because they have been told. Clarifying expectations is a two-way street. Not only is it the responsibility of the manager to give direction, but it is the responsibility of the employee to ask questions if these directions were unclear. Oftentimes, failure is the result of misunderstandings or miscommunication. Clarification will help the business to ensure everyone in the workplace has a clear understanding of expectations and goals, save time and money, reduce stress and frustration, build trust and relationships. The most effective business teams are those who share a common purpose. Each employee should understand what the business stands for and the importance of connecting the team's objectives. Typically, employees are told what it is that they should do, but are not informed about why they should be spending their time and efforts on these projects. Discussing the purpose in relation to long-term goals will help to enhance overall accountability and productivity. Employees should never find themselves wondering, "What's the point?" as this will lower their motivation and engagement. A common purpose will significantly influence levels of accountability. Effective communication in the workplace should not just be about telling or transferring information, but it is critical that this information is understood. The message or directions must be clear, otherwise mistakes are likely to happen. To ensure accountability among employees, communication must be concise and consistent. The communication process is ongoing and begins with a conversation about expectations. The work environment should be a welcoming environment, meaning that employees should not be afraid to ask questions and give feedback in regard to their obligations. If employees are having difficulty understanding instructions, the delegate must be willing to answer questions or elaborate on instructions. Communication is important. It helps to guide and motivate one another and align every team member so that they stay committed and work towards the same goals for the business. Individuals who attempt to handle many projects at once will often lead to burnout and failure. It is vital to collaborate and work as a team that listens and supports one another if you wish to build a successful team that achieves long-term goals. Every employee has their own responsibilities that they are accountable for based on their skills and abilities. These obligations help to contribute to the long-term objectives of the company. Simply put, collaboration is taking individual efforts and producing a significant team accomplishment. In order for collaborative practices to be successful, employees must stay accountable for their work. Successful teamwork requires collaboration, and collaboration is not possible without accountable employees. If we wish to build personal accountability, then consequences and results should be clearly established. Consequences are frequently thought of to be negative. However, consequences can include the celebration of success or positive effects from your actions. A clear understanding of the consequences will help to empower employees to strive to generate appropriate outcomes. Consequences are mandatory for accountability. If there are no consequences, then employees will not feel the need to be accountable for future assignments as well. Consequences for unsatisfactory results can include feedback or education. Additional consequences may be required if this is an ongoing issue of failing to deliver results. This can include an employee continuously being late for work. Employees should not feel intimidated by consequences. They should have a clear understanding of the workplace expectations and, more specifically, what is expected of them in their particular positions or assignments. You should be recognized and celebrated for successful results, which will encourage you to confidently take on more responsibilities. Now, let's look at a practical illustration. Reggie and Silas were given the task of putting on a seminar for the office at the end of the week. After hours of disagreeing on ideas, they realized that they had not accomplished any plans for the seminar. At last, Reggie had decided that the arguing had gone on for far too long. He reminded Silas of the importance of putting on this seminar and that their boss was relying on them to successfully put on this event for the company. "You're right," Silas said. "Let's sit down and form a proper plan." Reggie and Silas sat down and reviewed the instruction they were given to ensure they were clear. They discussed their ideas and actually listened to one another. They focused on the purpose of this seminar and why it was important. By effectively collaborating and communicating to one another, Reggie and Silas were able to put on a great seminar. Their boss was proud of them for maintaining accountability and producing excellent results.